What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the KCM. My name is Saiyan SC. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We are jumping directly into match one. No intro this time. Let's get it started.
오늘 가장 많은 채팅은 역시나 멤버.
Bringing up the lineup now, we've got Light, Royal, Rush, Snow, Best, Mini, Soma, Queen, Hero, an all-star lineup for you today. This should be very exciting. Nice change of pace here from the last week when we saw those three players, one from each race, kind of getting smashed there. I think it was Scan, YSC maybe, and one other. Can't really remember who he was, but they did get pretty well smashed. This time, I don't think there's going to be, I don't really think there's a mismatch here. No matter which matchup you end up getting, all of these players are amazing. They're all fantastic. We are on the crazy map right now. Forte for our first game, Light versus Soma. Light here on the top left is going to start off with a barracks in between the mineral lines. If you haven't seen this map before, guys, it is a rather old map. It's been recycled and maybe tweaked a little bit here and there to make it more playable in today's meta. And we're just kind of getting a view of what this might look like, what this map could be an ASL map in the future. You know, they always like to throw in one or two kind of wild maps into the map pool to mix things up, make things fun. This map has no regular location to wall in or anything like that. It's just got this weird low mineral sort of semi-wall here, and then a natural base behind that, but there's a ton of open space. And I think it's going to be pretty tough to hold a 2-hatch muta here. Honestly, if you're playing as Light, I think that's going to be really, really rough because your main base and your natural base are so far apart from each other, and this wall-in is extremely far away from either location. So it'll be really tough, I think, to deal with someone like Soma, who's so adept at the 2-hatch muta. You just can't really stop him from going for it either, no matter what you do, unless you go for some sort of crazy bunker rush. And it looks like Light gonna send 2 Marines straight across the map here right away. The spawning pool is about to finish though, and the drone spots this small Marine force coming out. There's the bunker, has been revealed here. Someone knows about this. The second SCV is there as well. All of these drones getting pulled off. Let's see if Light can get a big advantage here in this early game. Pulling forward, a lot of minerals are visible here for Soma. He can click through these minerals very easily in a number of different directions in order to get a good surround on these Marines. So far, just pushing them away, buying some time here. The Lings will be on the way soon. Here he goes, diving on top of this. One of these drones is extremely low, but not very good targeting here from Light. 2 drones are very, very low. 3 drones now, incredibly low HP, but not being taken out. I think that someone just runs here. He'll be fine. Okay, loses 1 drone. That is a little painful, but 1 drone, that could have been 4 drones there. 3 of those are incredibly low HP. So a bit of a flub there by Light, allowing those drones to escape. Now I'm going to throw down an academy and a gas here. Doesn't have a second command center, so this is going to be a very quick stim rush. Is going to be hitting here extremely early. He knows that his opponent doesn't have a hatchery there at that little gap, so there's a lot of locations where he can attack. He can go directly up towards the main. He can try to run towards that natural, and there's not really a good place for Soma to set up his sunken colony wall. The line of sunken colonies will not fit in either of these, or in any location here that will prevent the Terran player from just running by. So I think it's going to have to be a combination maybe of Soma finding out about this right away, and then he's going to have to put down some sunken colonies at the bottom, or excuse me, at the top of this natural, just below that gap there, try to extend that creep out a bit and then use the lings to prevent the Marines from running by. I think that's kind of his only shot here. He doesn't have a layer, though. I think he's caught on to this. He might be knowing what's going on. Actually, he's building an insane number of lings. This is crazy. Light is going to come in and spot these lings being more, or coming out from the main. He doesn't know how many lings there are just yet, but this is a big moment for Light to get this scout in there, to see more lings being morphed. However, he's kind of ready to go here. 4 fire bats means that a giant number of lings. I don't think even with the perfect surround could he take this down. We'll see. Yes, he is extending that creep forward, trying his best. Oh, a nice block there with the SCV. Not able to get all of the lings inside. He does get about 5 or 6 lings. Some of them die, but running up inside the main there, he's going to be able to create a pretty decent distraction. Slow down these forces from going across the map here, going for some more SCVs. Gotta fight with those SCVs now. The lings are doing a great job here, and I think the Sunkens on the other side of the map will finish, and he will be able to block any Marines from running by here. Creep colony, another one going down. We've already got 3 Sunkens in position. That bottom Sunken's not going to do too much, but let's see if he can go for it. Running in, stimming forward, he's going after the sunken colony there. Big kill on that firebat. 2 firebats have fallen. There's still 2 more, but not enough not enough Zerglings now to block. And 1 firebat plus 4 Marines. This could absolutely kill here. These firebats not gonna be able to run by. Excuse me, 1 does manage to pass there. Oh, every single drone just getting roasted in the main. This is the problem here with this map. Going for the 2-hatch meetup, there's just such a big gap there. A quick run by into the main, and Light takes that game. Soma has been knocked out early here. Terran taking an early victory. Okay, straight into our next game here. Light versus Best. We are on Neo Sylphid. What did you guys think of that last map, Forte? Do you like it? Do you think it deserves a spot in the ASL? I think it definitely has some potential, but I'm not sure if it'll actually make it in or not. It's got some really weird kind of meta shifting features there that I think do make for some interesting games. It's always cool when you can see a player at the highest level pull off a 2 racks and just go all in and actually take a game. It's pretty rare on these normal maps. Even here on Neo Sylphid, this map's just pretty basic. You've got the small choke coming into your main base, which is a little bit different. Also, there's no high ground, but you do have a very normal opening to the natural, so it really lends itself to quick expansion play and just getting into a nice normal game. Looks like Light's gonna throw in on a gas here pretty darn quick after that expansion, so we'll see what he wants to do with that early gas. Does he want to just go for a quick stim timing, or is he going to throw down a factory and try something a little bit different? Oh, excuse me. I'm thinking against Zerg here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry guys, it's been a long day. We're against Protoss. It's definitely going to be for a factory. I was still in Terran versus Zerg mode there, guys. Best here, he's sending his first Dragoon straight across the map and drops that Nexus very quickly as his range upgrade on the way as well. So he will have a little time to deal damage to that bunker, but he's not doing a huge committal into getting that damage. He just wants to put on a little pressure here, get what he can, and then get directly into that quick expansion. Light here, gonna be feeling confident about his position, I think. Got that very quick base and a factory out in the middle of the map. Wow. So as long as Best is rallying his Dragoons straight across the map here and starting to deal damage to that bunker, he could get a huge backstab off if he just builds 2 or 3 vultures and runs them directly into the base of Best. It could be massive damage, and I've seen this many times before. It happens all the time on ladder. A SCV out on the map is a very dangerous thing here in the early game. This Dragoon takes a tiny bit of hull damage, but mostly that will be regenerated. Engineering bay as the follow-up. That second factory is in the main base. So we're just going to see a few vultures being produced here. Don't send that SCV in. Whatever you do, you want to keep this hidden factory a secret for as long as possible. Because as long as Best is sending these Dragoons, rallying them straight across the map, this can deal insane damage. See if he sends in just a single vulture, or will he wait for 2, maybe even 3? It's totally possible here, but Best is starting to close that window. He's closing down his front entrance. He's putting a couple of pylons there in the front. That's going to be spotted by Light, actually an observatory plus pylon coming down there in the front. That's going to block that location and make sure that Light can't get the damage that he was looking for with those early vultures. As long as he keeps that wall solid, as long as he keeps the Dragoon there, he's going to be completely safe. A Dragoon heading down towards the center left should be able to spot this factory, but he will not see the speed vultures running towards his natural. Luckily for him, though, full wall in here. Going to be completely safe. And Light will just speed around the map looking for any probes or anything that might be out here. Look for an extra expansion. He already checked that third base just to make sure that there was nothing going down there. And he's going to wait for some mines to come up so that he can get mines out here and get some map vision. Now, a speed or a regular shuttle heading across the map that's been spotted. Very nice for Light. Even though he hasn't really gotten much out of these vultures, just keeping them active on the map has given him a huge boost of information, letting him know that that shuttle is on the way. That's enormous. He can get right into position here. He's already got the turret up, but he is going to be able to deny this much easier with the information that the angle the shuttle was coming in, what the timing on the shuttle was. Everything's in position, and he doesn't lose a tank either. Good pullbacks by him, taking less damage from that explosive Scarab, and he pushes back the Reaver with 0 losses thus far. So it's a pretty good opener by Light. Things are going well. The third base is on the way for Best. There's a lot of vultures out on the map right now, though, so he's got to be very careful when he decides to send those probes to saturate that base. He will have to have more than just 3 Dragoons here to defend. He's got the Reaver. Reaver is very good against vultures. They're trying to harass. You can blow up multiple vultures with a single shot if you're lucky. Coming up to surround this Dragoon. He's going to trade some of these vultures that have used all of their mines already. Try to get as much as you can out of them by just going after these Dragoons. These 3 Dragoons out in the middle on that present an easy target here for the vultures to pick off. Trading a few vultures for a couple of Dragoons, definitely a decent trade. Now, Best is moving forward, and Light has already taken his third base here. He is setting that base up. He's getting his tanks in position, leaving a pretty wide open natural entrance, but we'll see if that is exploited by Best. Best back at home right now. He's actually picking up more Reavers, perhaps thinking about setting up that 4th expansion rather than going for a bust here. Yeah, he's sending a probe down to the bottom left, but that's Unfortunately blocked by a
이재호의 메카닉 운영 뭐
mine there, and when Light sees that probe, he can send a vulture down and actually deal with that. Yeah, there's a big gap here in the defenses of Light,
골리앗 나왔어요.
and Best is able to
이제 바쁘게 움직이기 시작하고 있습니다.
sneak in there and just deal a little bit of SCV damage, but not too much thus far. Now coming in with the full force of his army, we'll see if he can try to sneak by these tanks that are on the left. They're a little bit out of range, so he could end up going through that small area. No, he's going to try and pincer attack this from multiple angles. There's the Reaver. Good target on that. Does the Reaver even get a shot off? I don't think it did, but so many Dragoons coming here from the left-hand side. Great surrounding action here by Bez, just jumping right on top of these tanks from multiple angles. He gets on top of every single one. All of them have gone down, and Light is getting sent back into his natural very quickly here. So many Dragoons. Wow, Best, he knows how to click the D button. He sends his Dragoons forward. Great angling by him, and not enough mines, not enough buildings in position to slow down these Dragoons and give the tanks the time they needed to actually deal their damage. Light, very aggressively expanding. Usually we see him get away with moves like that, but Best takes a look at it. He decides, you're not getting away with it this time. Just go ahead and attack right now. Take out that third base, and now Light is in a horrible spot. Doesn't get much worse than this from the Terran perspective. Once you've been pushed back off of that third base the first time, every time you try to take the base again, it becomes harder and harder. Your tank count has been reset. You just don't have that extra income from the third base to build those tank numbers. 88 supply right now. He is feeling real bad. He even lost his barracks. Look at that. He's having to rebuild that barracks. Extremely painful here from Light, and I think by all rights we should see a Best victory here. He has so much right now with that fourth base coming up. This army right here can take out I think whatever army Light will be able to field in the next couple of minutes when he's ready to try and take that third base again. I think he did manage to save his command center though. I'm not sure if that went down. I don't think it was on screen. Yeah, there it is floating out now. That third command center is alive. But as long as Best can just add on a few more vultures, I think he should be able to. Whoa, 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 hold on. A bit of a oversight here by Best. Gets the surround there on the vulture, but that vulture has a ton of kills. 5 kills on that one. A lot more went down from those vultures. That was a huge turn, but I still don't feel like it's quite enough. We've got to have this dropship deal some damage. It's kind of a Hail Mary from Light. Get the dropship out there and try to kill some probes while pushing out and taking this third. That might be able to equalize things. Second armory's not spinning right now. The observer was showing on screen. Fourth base getting saturated. Plenty of cannon over here, so this dropship not going to find damage at that fourth base. Basically nothing can happen at that fourth base with 4 cannons there. It's going to be basically a useless drop unless he changes his mind and goes somewhere else. Okay, there's only 3 cannons and the third is not quite finished yet, so maybe he can get some damage done. Meanwhile, a huge attack from Bez, just running forward with the Zealots. Not enough vultures in the right spots here, but tanks are holding strong in the back. This third base will definitely be denied, but can he hold on to his natural? I think that Bez just running forward with this number of Zealots, able to dive on top of the tanks and reset that tank count once again. This is an unwinnable position now from Light. I think we're going to see the tap out moment here any second, despite dealing damage with these vultures on the other side of the map. The bunker has gone down, and endless rallies from Best can come across the map and continue to push in here if he so chooses. But for now, just going to fall back, take the safe route here, keep those Dragoons alive, and continue to macro back at home. Not too many probes at that third, but his fourth is saturated. Whereas Light is still sitting back here in his natural, denied a second time. And guys, it just gets worse from here. After the first denial, it's pretty darn bad, but once your third base has been denied twice, it's pretty much game over. GG is called. Best takes the victory. Light has been eliminated. Hero is our next contender here. Best is spawning in the top right, here on the top left on Revolver. Can tell by the eggs. Plenty of eggs on this map. I would say even an excessive number of eggs on this map, if I'm being honest. See what the strategy is going to be here from Hero. Best looking pretty darn solid that last game. Taking down Light in a regular macro game. Didn't even get any damage with his Reaver, but ran over Light for being just a little bit too ambitious with that third base take, trying to get it out as early as possible, but does end up getting broken. Now we've got Hero grabbing a quick expansion here. Just a 12 hatchery. And Best is going to start off with a forge. Interesting. Hero just going to block the ramp here. Not something that you see every day. But the probe is able to sneak through, just barely seeing that extractor. And here comes the second pylon. Ooh, a second probe is here as well. So this is a pretty committed cannon rush that's coming out of Best right now. He hasn't had to throw down a pylon here between the two yet because there hasn't been a drone able to jump over this wall. So, oh my goodness, what is this? Okay, well, to me, this doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. He's gonna get a couple of drones over this wall really easily with that extractor trick. I'm surprised that he wanted to put his cannon on that side because the pylon or the probe goes down really, really fast. It's much easier to jump over the gas than it is over the minerals. In most cases, looks like 2 photon cannons were able to get down, though. 3 drones hitting this, and that will have to be canceled. Hero, perfect. Just dealing with that pretty much perfectly, just about as well as you could ever hope for. And now he can actually get all of his drones out here as well. Doesn't even go for the extractor trick to get his drones back. Instead, just going to use these lings to finish off these buildings. And Hero is in a huge advantage right now. He's getting his third base out. He's got his lings killing off this gateway. And he will be tracking down that probe. I'm not sure what Best was thinking there. I guess getting 2 cannons down is better than just having 1, but he had a pretty good position there. You can see that Hero was having a really hard time jumping over that wall. Not sure if there was just not enough space for a cannon there or something, but he decides to go with the gateway behind, gateway plus the 2 cannon behind the extractor, and it's a questionable decision. Doesn't end up working out for him. Maybe he's trying messing around with a new idea or something like that. It's definitely is new to me, but doesn't work out. Now Hero in good spot. He picks off that probe with some Hero-esque micro, that drone micro we're used to seeing from him. Sniping that probe there, and now just chilling. He can go any which direction he wants. He can't be scouted right now. He's got more lings, or he's got a ton of lings out, so he doesn't need to worry about a zealot moving. He just he can just purely drone up from here, getting into a lair. He has a 4th hatchery on the way. There it is. And I would imagine Hero just gonna take every liberty with the number of drones that he's producing. Get into a crazy good macro position here with some excellent SimCity, and just dare best to come out and try to take this fight. He's building a 2nd forge in his main, expecting some Hydras to come across the map and actually kill that forge. He hasn't started any upgrade with this forge. That is crazy. Best really thinks he knows what's going on right now, but he has no idea that Hero is droning up like a madman. Now this Zealot has managed to sneak out somehow, and it wasn't spotted by Hero. Hero has no idea the Zealot is over here, otherwise his Zerglings would be surrounding and killing that right now. So this could do a little bit of damage. At least it's going to push these drones away. Very annoying stuff, but Best is going to realize now that he is completely wrong in thinking that his opponent was going to be going for a quick Hydra attack, and he'll be sitting here with double forge. I guess he'll just have to go for 2 upgrades at the same time, double upgrades. It's the only thing that makes sense at this point, so that's probably what he'll end up doing. He manages to pick off an Overlord, so 1 Overlord does go down to the 1st Corsair. Supply blocks Hero for a little bit. He does have some Hydras out now to defend his Overlords, make sure that no more of those go down, but I haven't seen any Spire yet. And yeah, he's just going to get an Evolution Chamber, get some extra upgrades, and go straight into 5 or 6 hatch Muta. He's already got 5 hatches up. Might end up throwing down another one here pretty soon, as this drone count is getting ridiculous. Even more drones popping out right now. No Hydras in this location, so he could end up losing another Overlord. That is a pain in the butt. 2 Overlords being taken out. Very annoying. But here with the good economy, I think he'll be fine. Bunch of gateways coming down, double upgrades on the way. Should be Zealot speed on the way as well. A lot of Overlords popping now. Doesn't want to get supply blocked again. He needs to be pumping out a ton of Hydra right now, because these Zealots are going to be hitting in force here relatively soon. Is that another hatchery? I'm not sure, but I think it should be 6 hatch Hydra. Good way to play this one out. He's got that good SimCity there as well. Gonna tuck those Hydras in just below the Evolution Chamber. Keep them out of harm's way. And yeah, just pure Hydra from here. I think Hero has a crazy saturation at the natural. Pretty decent saturation at the 3rd as well. Could use to transfer a few drones over to that location. But this is about as many drones as you ever want as a Zerg player on 3 bases. You see Hydra's coming forward here. There's no speed yet on these Zealots, so Hydra can kite this forever, and these are speed Hydras as well. Gonna run right up here and deal some damage. GT is out, and I don't see any Overlords in the area, so definitely the... Oh, there is Overlord with Overlord speed, so this should die right away. There we go. Getting picked off there. High Templar, not enough energy. Not enough energy for that storm. High Templar here in the back. They're running forward, trying to pretend that they actually do have storm, but they do not. Few more seconds here. There we go. The first storm is ready. Does he use it? Oh, the storm. Where's the storm? He doesn't have storm finished. Oh man, this is so painful. There we go. Finally a storm goes down, but a great dodge there by Hero. Whoa, the second storm dealing a lot of damage. But there's no 3rd storm, only an Archon coming up. The probes have all been pulled. The Zealots are coming out. one by one really here, and one cannon manages to finish up, but a good target there from here. He's going to take out this last cannon. The Zealots are finishing up. There's one Archon coming forward. Almost all the probes have gone down. More cannons are coming up, and it looks like Best may be able to hold on, but the economic engine that Hero has behind this is not what you generally see from something like a regular Hydralisk bust. He has a devastating economy. Wow, that was a massive storm there on that ramp. Another great storm. Whoa. Dealing a crazy amount of damage, so this Forge will go down, denying that upgrade. Two cannons here, a lot of Zealots running forward. These are pre-damaged Hydralisks, but Baz just kind of jumping back and forth here, trying to buy as much time as he can. I don't know if he's just going to lose these Zealots and the game here. One more storm may be enough to hold off for a little bit longer. Probes are being pulled, another cannon goes down. Only one cannon left over here. This Archon taking a lot of damage, but it does fall. More and more Hydras just pouring across the map. You can see the supply has plummeted here for Bez. He's at 64 supply to 69. More and more Hydras coming. The probes getting a good surround on the Hydra, but the cannon did fall. That was the final cannon. More Zealots are coming out here, but the hopes are slim for Best now. 11 kill Archon. It must have been mostly from those storms there. Archon's generally not the best thing to fight against Hydra. Bez fighting back valiantly here, and he's still got quite a few probes in the main. He's going to transfer a bunch of them down. He's got some more cannon as well, but Hero, he's fine. He's just going to throw down another hatch. He can go for a drop. He can do basically whatever he wants. Get into a bunch of lurkers, just contain his opponent. It really doesn't matter right now. Can do anything, and I don't think that Baz can really fight back against. He's just going to run forward, kill these three cannons. The moment that the Zealots are out of position, all of those cannons go down. There's another Templar coming up, but he doesn't have the energy. That's going to be it. GG will have to be called. Hero takes the win. Best has been eliminated. We're going back and forth. First someone got eliminated, then Light, now Best. Each race getting a victory here so far in the KCM. We're right back with another exciting match. Alright, we're just hopping into our next game here. It's going to be Rush in the top left versus Hero in the top right. We are on Polypoid. I was just laughing because KCM was talking about Santa Claus. Pretty funny the way that Korean people say Christmas. It's like a Christmas or Santa Claus. Something like that. I don't know, I'm not super familiar with the Korean accent. If it was Japanese, I would definitely know. Christmas. That's my impression of the Japanese friends that I know. Looks like Hero getting his 12 hatch going here. We've got Rush with the in-base barracks. Rush, really one of my favorite Terran players for a very long time. So glad that he has had a crazy amount of success recently. I've really been cheering for him since he won that first wild card qualifier about 2 years ago now. He's such an impressive player, but he seems to come on in short bursts, but now he's really at the top of his game. I hope he keeps it up. I know that he's got a family back at home now, so it's got to be tough to put in those hours. Can't really play 12 hours a day when you've got a baby and a wife. I'm sure it's tough, but this guy still managed to get right to the top of ASL, even with those distractions. It's like quite a bit of micro going on here. Hero with the drone micro, dealing a lot of damage to this SCV. He's not going to get it, but he did manage to push that away, delayed the command center just a little bit, and he sees what's going on here. His second barracks going down immediately for Rush. Rush going to get an early Marine count here. We'll see when he throws down that refinery. There it goes, refinery, and an academy should be moments away here as well. Want to get into his stim pack as quickly as possible so that he can put on that pressure just before the 2-hatch unit takes effect. Looks like a third hatch now. Okay, so third hatch here after layer. Kind of an older way to play. Much more recently, it's been more popular to go into 2.5 hatch. That's the third hatchery in base after the spire comes down. And Soma, along with other Zerg players, have been really experimenting with going for a very early third base as well. Kind of a 2.5 hatch, but with a third base instead of that base or that hatchery inside your main. Just getting the extra gas early. Can really pump out those mutas that way, but here we're going to go for the good old classic here. He will have to produce quite a few lings because his spire is going to be a little bit delayed. There should be a good amount of pressure here coming from Rush before Hero can get those Mutalisks out. Assuming that Rush is planning to move out here. He did build a bunker back at home, so he is sitting here in a very defensive position, maybe thinking that there's going to be a mass Ling move by Hero. Now Rush does the scan. He sees the number of drones here at the natural and concludes that there are not a huge number of Lings kind of sitting on the map waiting for his push out. So he moves out on the map. He's going to go ahead and try to deal some damage here. Sprinting forward in a very Rush-esque fashion. He tries to get here just in time to bust this sunken line, but not able to do so. He's just going to turn around and back up. You can see Hero was even ready there to throw down an Evo chamber in the front if necessary to soak up some hits from those Marines and buy himself a little bit more time for those sunkens, but not necessary. He falls back with that drone back to mining, and Rush is back to his natural setting up for this Mutalisk follow-up. There's going to be a huge wave of Mutas heading towards his base here in just a few more moments. You're just waiting on an Overlord, but he should have 9 Mutas coming here. We'll see what he decides to spend that next 300 gas on. Is he just going to continue to pump mutas? Is this 9 mutas all he's going to get? I don't even know if this is full 9. No, it's not. Only 7 mutas, so that sunken, those 2 sunken colonies that Hero is forced to build definitely taking a toll here. Would have loved to have just 9 straight mutas popping out, and he loses an Overlord as well. That's going to supply block Hero. Very annoying stuff. We'll see if he responds to that by throwing down another tech building or something. Nothing back at home. Instead, just continuing to produce these mutas. He's waiting on an Overlord once again. Gonna take the base down in the bottom right. You can see he's got quite a bit of money in the bank here right now. He just spent all of that. Hydralisk Den and a Queen's Nest. So yes, he does throw down those tech buildings there. Is going for a transition, but I think that Rush is in a good position here. He's got the momentum on his side. After killing off an Overlord or 2 there, Oh my goodness, running right underneath those mutas, getting a great trade there as well. That was an excellent play by Rush, just predicting the movement there of those mutas, runs straight up, guns a couple of them down immediately. Good targeting by him. Now he's heading towards this bottom right. The mutas are going to begin dogging here, but they haven't done much yet. Really not picking off hardly any of these Marines, so this Marine force is still very strong. Rush is going to have a second Marine force coming out soon as well. These medics are running out of energy a little bit. Quite a few stims so far. And he's still very far away from this bottom right, but you can see Rush's first intention here. What he plans to do with this Marine medic ball is he wants to join it up with this second group. He's not going to move out into a precarious position here and get potentially surrounded by Hero and killed. Instead, he's going to bring all of his Marines together, and here comes the fight. This is not a good fight for Hero. He's got to turn around. That was very scary. Had he decided to just go for the full-on engage there, I think Hero would have to just tap out. He would have lost everything. Rush really keeping his Marine medic together very well here. His movement has been actually perfect this entire game. He's built a tank as well. What is he going to do with this? Does he have siege mode? Not sure. Hive tech on the way. Some dogging of the Marines going on now. Hero picking off a Marine or two. But Rush still staying very defensively, hanging back and not extending out dangerously on the map. He's really being careful here. He's going to get another group of Marine medic to reinforce this and that tank, I think. And we'll just see where he decides to move those units, where he decides to attack next. The Defiler Mound is on the way, so he doesn't have a whole lot of time here before Hero gets out that Defiler with the Dark Swarm. It's going to have to be a very crisp timing attack here from Rush. He'll have to break in and deal that damage right away here, because that Defiler Mound, I think, is now finished. The consumability should be getting researched right now. There's no science vessel here. Just 3 tanks, and those tanks, they have to be defended well, and they have to get in there and get their damage done immediately. There's that vessel. Takes some damage. The Lynx are going to go for the counterattack, it looks like. The tanks are not moving forward. He really has to get going here. Start heading up as soon as possible, because these tanks are about to lose their value. Oh no! Oh no, Hero, a beautiful move there, picks off that vessel. The first vessel going down is huge. Now these tanks and Marines, they don't have that vision, the all-important vision there to pick off these lurkers. He does get one down, but how many scans does he have? I'm sure he only has maybe 2, maybe 3 scans altogether, all told. So eventually I think that Hero can wait that out. He will have his Defiler out here very, very soon. We're almost through all of the sunken colonies. There's still 3 lurkers left over. There's going to be maybe 1 scan left. 1 more scan. Oh, was that another vessel? I think another vessel just went down. That is massive. Here comes that scan. He's going to run forward. He's diving on top, but 1 more lurker still remains. 2 more lurkers pop out through the Nidus and save the day here as well. He is going to hold for now. There is no more vision here. There's no more. Oh, actually, he has 1 more scan. Another scan went down there. He almost killed off every lurker, but there's still 1 left. There's only 1 tank left as well. Maybe targeting down the Nidus would be the right decision. Few more mutas. Oh, they pick off the last Marine. The last Marine goes down, and this tank will die as well. I cannot explain how important it was that that first vessel went down. That vessel was everything, and it just completely ruined this push. The fact that Hero was able to snipe that as it was moving forward. Greater Spire is the follow-up here from Hero. He knows he's in such a good position. He has the Defiler. He can throw down Dark Swarms right in the natural of Rush here. He's trying to get more starports out. He's trying to get another expansion, but he's doing everything at once. And I don't know if he can do all of that and defend this push at the same time. Here comes the Lurkers and, of course, that Defiler. He's got the Consume. He's got the Dark Swarm down. Science Vessel absolutely has to get forward here and irradiate this Defiler, lest it run forward and get another Dark Swarm here even closer to the natural. That would be devastating for Rush, so he's got to do something about this. He's going to walk around. This is really the move. You've got to get around to the other side here. Try to cut off these Lurkers from the Defiler, from the Lings that are coming up to reinforce. There's the Defiler getting irradiated. It will go down. It's not going to do anything with that energy, unfortunately. Okay, it does throw down one Dark Swarm, but really ineffective there. Now, I think we're going to have Hero morphing all these Guardians. Yes, Guardians. We rarely ever see it, but here comes the Guardians, guys. Can he actually hold on, though, back at home? He doesn't have a Defiler. There's 3 Lurkers here, but a lot of Marines are running forward. We've got a ton of these Scourge. Of course, this vessel will go down. Too many Scourge. He tried his absolute best to gun down those Scourge as quickly as possible, but a couple of them did connect. 2 Devourers are out here as well. These Mutas have 6. Muta had 6 kills, and now the Devourer has those 6. Pretty darn strong Devour for the defense of those few Guardians. Oh my goodness, so many Firebats here. Is this going to be the all-in play from Rush? I think he just goes here. He really doesn't have a backup plan. He's losing everything in the natural. All of the SCVs have to evacuate. So I think that Rush will just have to go for broke here. Try to run in under Dark Swarm with the Firebats and just try to get the kill. Might be the only way to do it. Now, coming up this ramp would be actually suicidal. I don't think he's going to try that. But he will send his Marines and Firebats back up. He has actually picked off that 4th base, so that's a big win there for Rush, but he's been shoved off of his own natural. Oh gosh, another big plague there. That was massive. Couple of Wraiths here trying to do their best to push things away, but does he have some cloak? No, he doesn't. He doesn't have cloak, and he's getting acid spores all over his Wraiths. He tries to dive in, but cannot kill all of those pesky Guardians. Some Lings going for it. Those SCVs gonna pick off quite a few here. The Marines are helping out, but that was a lot of SCVs going down there. Some Marines just wandering out across the map. Maybe they can pick off this Defiler. No way. That Defiler's got way too much armor. +2/+2 is done for Rush. So even though this is a crazy game, Rush has really kept on top of his upgrades. Only +1/+1 for Hero, so still a ways away from that sort of super strong Ultralisk army. You really want to have +2 armor to go along with the Carapace. I doubt you'll be able to get there this game, though. I think this will be a game that ends before a 4th base ever goes down for the Zerg player, unless we get to some crazy situation. Another plague goes down. Hero still with the Devourers, so he can one-shot those once they're down to just 5 HP. Not quite as efficient as a Muta's flying in, and they shoot incredibly slow. But he definitely could dive in with the Devourer and get a kill on one of those Science Vessels. That's a possibility. Looks like the 4th base could be getting taken here. No way, this Firebat with 5 kills. Gonna go after the Defiler now. Pretty ridiculous. I think Rush going to head back down towards the 4th of Hero, trying to deny that once again. However, it would be another huge plague by Hero. He tries to stim, but he's got no health to use the stim there.
커맨드 센터가
Lings getting
9시
picked off.
쪽으로
That
날아가고
command center
있고요.
cannot land. The
센터 쪽으로 파란색
natural
병력들이
is mining
나오고
once
있는
again. These
가운데
Marines just
플레이가
getting
받은 병력들은 조금
completely wrecked.
줄어들고 있습니다.
All of them going down.
전면 병력 잘 정리하고 있고요.
네.
Nicely done. Devours coming in for the kill.
115.
그렇죠.
파이어맨!
그렇죠.
A lot of fire bats coming up from Rush as he sends
업이 좋기
it down
때문에
towards the bottom
파이어맨이
right.
이득을 많이
See
봐요.
if he can
Yeah.
crack this
업이
base.
좋기
That's a
때문에.
lot of links, but with this many fire bats, ooh, the Ultras coming out. That should be that.
자, 테란이
With a bunch of
상륙이
Ultras coming forward and actually
Oh,
fighting
oh.
against it. Oh my god!
이거 조금 더
Big
지켜보겠습니다.
plague on all those fire bats. They get completely wrecked. Ooh, that was rough. Rush really not getting much value out of those units at all with that plague. See if he can get over here and actually deny that fourth. If Rush holds on to this fourth over here in the center left and denies the one of Heroes down in the bottom right, then there is some way that Rush could actually win this game. Over Hero, I mean, he's got the Ultras. Still no +2 carapace yet, though. He has 2 Ultra Caverns, so he's trying to get those 2 upgrades as quickly as possible, speed and armor. But there's only 1 armor on these Ultras right now. He can actually tear through these if he groups up his Marines properly and just takes on this fight. This is crazy. Tons of Marines coming down here. The Ultras are just melting right now. Huge amount of Scourge coming down. Every single Science Vessel does fall, but these Ultras, okay, there we go. +2 armor finally finishing up, but he's still got no chitinous plating. No chitinous plating on these Ultras, and these Marines, I think they're 3-3 now. At least they have +2/+2. Still 2-2. Okay, finally a good surround with the Cracklings finishes this off, but that was really close to a break once again, and Rush still sitting here on 4 bases. He is on even bases with Hero, pumping out an incredible amount of Marine Medic. His macro is unlike any other right now. He is so strong. Running forward, trying to pick off that Defiler, excuse me, before it could consume and cast, but doesn't pick that off. Now the chitinous plating is done. The window has closed here where Rush really had an advantage in terms of the upgrades. Now the advantage is firmly, I think, in the favor of the Ultra player. I think Rush should be finishing up that 3-3 pretty soon, though. We'll see if he can make another move here on the map, or will he wait for that inevitable 5th base to come out from Hero. We're 20 minutes in, so the gases are going to be getting quite low here. Running forward, trying to split as best he can against these lurkers. Now getting the Defiler. Some Cracklings coming through, not really reacting very quickly here. The Cracklings get the full surround, and all of these Marines will be picked off, so Rush will lose this engagement. However, he did pick off quite a lot here. He's going to get some drones as well. Trading pretty well against Hero, and I'm surprised Hero doesn't have Ultra Speed right now, because he does have double Ultraless Cavern back at home. So you would think he would be upgrading both of those at the same time. However, we have chitinous plating, but no Ultra Speed. Hero now pumping off of 4 gas. Yeah, you can see that is a depleted extractor there in the main. Main extractor is mined out. Looks like some Ultras will be heading towards this 4th base of Rush, but no Defiler that I can see. The Defiler just grouping up with those Ultras now. Gonna come up and cast a Dark Swarm on high ground. That should deny the 4th of Rush. Yeah, there we go. There's the Defiler. Dark Swarm. Bunkers not going to hold on. Doesn't even have a single fire bat in there, unfortunately. So those bunkers will go down. Everything will have to be evacuated. And this is a big swing for Hero. Hero has a great moment here right now where all he needs to do is hold on to this 4th base while denying the 4th of Rush, and he should be able to pull ahead a little ways here.
지금 업 차이가 그래도 좀 나니까.
예.
지금
Good hold
부스럼치는
by Rush
테란이
at the
이름을 볼수
third.
있단 말이죠.
Still
네.
has that
그
mining
틈을
at
지금
least,
계속
but the
왔다
main
갔다
and
왔다
natural
갔다
pretty
하면서
much
만들어내려고
completely mined out. Ooh, those Scourges, why are they not attacking? Whoa, the Scourge had kind of a brain lag there, I think.
위험했을 수도 있거든요.
Didn't end up connecting. One of them does, or one of the science vessels does go down, but ooh, something happened down there at the bottom that we missed. Rush lost a lot of army, I think, in that location. Now stimming up, he's going to kill off a bunch of these Ultra, but here comes that Dark Swarm. Now he's going to have to run. There's the fifth base of Hero. That does go down, so time is running out a little bit here for Hero, who hasn't gotten or secured another gas, and he is trying to pump out Ultralisk here on just 3 gas at the moment. You really can't pump out too much Ultra from this position, and eventually Rush could potentially just wear Hero down here, despite all of the good plays from Hero, despite all of the great plays throughout this game. Kind of epic use of Devours and Guardians as well. I think that Rush is starting to slowly bring this game into his favor. He can continuously just produce these Marines, no problem. Gas is not an issue for Rush here. This Dark Swarm in his natural is, however, needs to get some more fire bats out there. Throw a bunch of fire bats in that bunker to deal with all of these Lings running in here, and of course this Dark Swarm. The third base is under threat now. A lot of Lings are going towards that third, and I think a ton of SCVs will be going down here, but overall, I think that Rush is holding on well. He should be able to stay alive here for a little longer. What the hell? An Ultra is here with 10 kills. Nothing in those bunkers, unfortunately. He's going to lose. Oh, wait, there is stuff in those bunkers. They just weren't firing at that Ultra for whatever reason. I guess it was out of range. This Ultra will go down as well. But look at Hero's gas count. He's got barely anything left over in terms of that gas. I think his natural has mined out now in the gas geyser. Main is completely mined out. He's trying desperately to take a 5th base in the center right, but this game is getting pretty darn epic. There we go, a huge Dark Swarm on top of all these Marines. That is massive, and he's going to annihilate this force. Just overwhelming numbers of Lings running in here. GG, Rush taps out. Hero takes that win. Wow. What a surprise finish there, just rushing through. I thought for sure that Terran was going to hold on there for quite a bit longer, but continuously Defilers kept making their way into that natural. I didn't even see the Defiler on my screen there at the end, but he kept getting those Defilers over there. The Science Vessels getting picked off over and over and over again. He couldn't really hit that critical mass of Science Vessel. Was never able to break in and deal serious damage to the economy of Hero either. And Rush has been eliminated. Wow. Crazy, crazy game, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the next one. Wow, 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 wow. What a game that last TVZ was. Insane. I want to mention that final attack from Hero was just 3 Ultras and a Defiler and a bunch of Lings, and that's what ended the game. It was so incredibly close. So strapped for gas there was Hero, and Rush hung on for an incredibly long time, but in the end, Hero takes that victory. Now he's up against Snow here. We are once again on Polypoid. We've got Hero here in the top left, Snow down in the bottom left, starting out with a gateway first. Okay, we have a 12 hatch here, getting that down before the probe can arrive, so Hero going to be happy with that. Getting ready to throw down a spawning pool. Going to be harassed a little bit by this probe, but
이기고 지는 게 아니라
Of course, Hero just sends a secondary drone to go ahead and pick that up. We'll see if he takes this gas right away or if he wants to throw down a third base somewhere out on the map.
그러니까 우리는
Far he
큰
hasn't
걸
sent that
생각하지
drone
작은
out.
동작도 이렇게 막 근데 이
No
선수들은
scout either. He
작은 거
does
굴려가지고
find his
끝나가지고
opponent with the Overlord, so won't need to get that drone scout going.
그래도 실드만 까졌죠.
Pretty low HP drone there, only 13 health.
그러면서 이제 12시에 3회 처리를 짓는 거를
It will be safe for now.
조금
For
방해를
Zealot
하려고
on the
지금
way
가는
out.
거죠.
앞서서 가고
예,
있고요.
12시 쪽으로.
Hero with that
미네랄 볼트를
drone
먹게 하는
heading towards the
것만으로도
third
지금
base. He will be blocked here.
돌아서도 한번 지져주고
Snow could in fact just throw down a pylon as well.
이거
in that area.
어떻게든 먹으러
Stop
가네요.
that
따라
even further, harass that even further. Looks like Hero though a little bit ahead of his opponent. He might actually be able to throw this down before the probe can block. Yeah, he does get it.
아, 조일장 기분 좋은데요.
Was
계속.
very close, but
자꾸
he
좋은 장면들이
manages to
연출이 됩니다.
grab that expansion, and now
네.
this Zealot making its way into the mineral line. Is he going to get a kill? Oh, that was incredibly close there. Only a single hit would have finished off that drone, but it managed to slip sideways
큰 이득도 못 봤고요.
and away from that Zealot.
기분이 계속 좋아요.
Now
자, 이
this
질럿도
Zealot here will
자, 이
be
질럿도
surrounded. No kill
5대스로
for that Zealot. Not even a single Ling going down, but plenty of Lings have been produced here.
18까지 저글링을 만약에 찍었다면
Hero reacting.
오브 하나 저글링 하나일
Say about
거거든요.
10 to 12 Lings already out on the map. Heading straight down towards Snow's base. More drones to pop out though, so Snow knows that there's no huge committal here from Hero. In fact, he's sending most of his Zerglings back home, afraid that there might be a Zealot or two out on the map.
여기서 또 저글링을 안 찍었다는 거는 히드라를 바로
Hydra Den to follow up after that probe goes down. Hero gonna throw down the Hydra Den and go for some sort of bust here. He has vision of everything. He knows that there's a forge here with no cannon. The Nexus is finishing up now. We'll see how this bust goes. Will Hero do a full committal? 973 and try to kill his opponent immediately? Or is he going to do more of an economic bust here? Getting those Hydras out and trying to stop that upgrade going down in the front. And following up with a bunch of drones. We'll have to see. Still no cannon here. Snow with the great optimizations. The moment just not getting those cannons. Is it going to bite him in the butt though? Could end up coming back to hurt him later on. Zealot's still just sitting here, no cannon at all, and Hydras are actually being built right now, so unless multiple cannons come down here pretty soon, he's going to be in a bit of trouble. Probe going to sneak out here. No Zergling speed, so it'll be hard to catch this one. Oh, no Ling speed here. He can't actually follow this and catch it, so there is going to be a big reveal here as the probe reaches the natural. He's going to find these Hydras right away. A bit of a misstep here by Hero, who could have definitely blocked that probe had he been on top of it. Instead, a bunch of cannons are going to come down here in the front, and they should be finished in time. 4 cannons on the way already. I think there'll have to be a transition here from Hero. Just start producing drones. Try to kill off this. Try to kill off maybe one of these cannons and pick off that the forge there if possible. Good footsies here by Snow, keeping these Hydras away from that first cannon. Now a cannon is going to finish up here a little bit closer, and that cannon will deny these Hydras from actually getting the kill on that forge, for now at least. Full drone saturation from Hero. He's just completely droning up from here. A layer is on the way as well at that third base. A 4th hatchery is coming down. A 5th should be coming here pretty quickly as well. Snow trying to move out a little bit, but we do have that Hydraless speed, so not able to actually connect with those Hydras. They will be kited back, so he needs to stay back for now. Range has now finished. That gateway is under threat, but again, the all-important forge there at the front has not been taken out. That upgrade, I think, will finish here, and there is a second forge in the main. The gateways are just now coming up. Hero has such good drone saturation here. I don't know if Snow can come out and actually punish this. Oh, the forge. Wait a second. That forge is going to go down. Oh, +1 finishes just in time. Big win there for Snow as that finishes up. That forge has outlived its usefulness. He will probably build a second one in the main. Or at least just keep that upgrade going. That's +1 armor back at home. No kills for this Corsair so far. Just flying around, seeing what he can see. Creep colonies on the way. Hero is in a great economic position. We'll see if Snow wants to come out and try to diminish that position, or does he want to snag a base for himself? No Templars out here just yet, but a lot of Zealots are on their way out to the map. Looks like a good defensive position here as well. I'm liking the overall building setup we're seeing out of Hero here. He's going to lose an Overlord, but that's fine. Just one Overlord, not a big deal. You really can't get in here as Snow, especially without the Zealot speed. It's going to be near suicidal. So he's going to head over towards that third base. Zealot speed has finished up here. Let's see what he can do at the third. Spots that Sim City and backs away immediately. There's the Templar Archives now, just finishing up, so pretty far behind here. I wonder if Hero has a timing here where he can pop out a bunch of Hydras and just go for a counterattack. Only 4 cannons in the front, not a whole lot of Zealots here. And Templar with Storm is still quite a ways away. Some lurkers popping up. Looks like Hero gonna take the more defensive route, making sure that he won't take any damage from a Zealot timing here. Getting those lurkers down along with that Sim City is basically death to these Zealots here. Will Hero decide to run across the map and attempt to formulate a contain? No, he's going to grab a 4th base. Continue to further his economic lead here. Already 95 supply to just 100 out of Snow. Spire Tech is done, so he does have the option of popping out some Scourge here. Hasn't done that yet. Run by here from Snow, just getting in between the units here of Hero. He's coming from all different angles, but gonna surround these Zealots. Only 5 Zealots here. They do get completely surrounded. Oh, a small, tiny hole there, not being plugged up by Hero, and he does manage to get out with just 2 Zealots. Good delay on that 4th base, though. And the Templars are finally popping out. We'll have storms available here for this next fight. But will it be enough? Hero, just so many units out right now. His army is looking very, very fearsome. He is losing quite a few Overlords, though. Another one going down in the main, and 3 are making a run for it there. Or in the natural, not doing a great job here. Hero not protecting his Overlords. Oh my goodness, so many Overlords going down. That's really going to slow down Hero's evolution in this game. The ramping up of his army has definitely been slowed down here. He's stuck at 110 of 110, popping on a bunch of Overlords. Oh my goodness, a huge drop going to go down in the main of Snow. And he is not ready for this. He's attacking right now towards the natural here. A lot of Overlords could end up going down. There's the lurkers coming up. He's going to burrow these. There's no detection for this, so those lurkers are going to absolutely wreck anything that's coming out of Snow right now. 2 observers here in the main, though, luckily, and a bunch of Dragoons are popping out. There's High Templars here as well. 2 lurkers are going to burrow Huge storms coming down, but these Hydras are going to pick off some of the Templar in the main. Lurker's doing a good job as well. It looks like Snow will completely clear this out. But that was quite a distraction there from Hero, forcing Snow to run all the way back home with his entire army. And now he's got this 4th base up. His overall drone count has still been very high. He's continuing to add on drones now and getting ready for a fearsome mid-game. I don't think he needs to add on any more drones at this point. Just getting a ton of lurkers out will be enough. Oh, just barely missing that big group of overlords that was heading back from that drop. Bit of a heartbreaker there for Snow. Would have loved to pick off those overlords here. We'll get one down in the bottom right, but Hero has an immense force out on the map. 127 supply is a bit deceiving there because each Hydralisk only 1 supply. So we have a ton of Hydras out right now. Plenty of resources in the bank. 1,000 minerals and 1,000 gas for Hero to spend. Can make a ton of lurkers if he does want to. Now jumping up here, it's nearly 150 supply as Snow tries to take this 3rd base. We'll see what Hero can try to do about that. Looks like he's coming in for that attack now. We're getting it on screen here. There's a big storm in the middle. Pretty good dodges overall by Hero. He's going to retreat here. Some of the Hydras do get caught. Will be picked off. But Hero's on the move, sending a ton of Hydras towards this location. He's going to come in from multiple angles and try to pull this army away from the 3rd base here. If he's able to pick off that 3rd base, Snow is going to be in for a world of hurt, but he's got the Templar surrounding this location. He has some cannons up, some Dragoons are there as well. So Hero shouldn't be able to get a quick and easy snipe on this base. Rather, I think he'll rely on counterattacking should Snow decide to move away. Whoa, big storm there. Absolutely devastating storm, and these lurkers running forward to their deaths. What is Hero doing with those? Just sprinting in and trying to burrow. That storm was insane as well. Such value here from Snow. Whoa! Huge value out of each and every storm so far, and you just cannot fight as the Zerg player if you're allowing the Protoss to get such good value out of their storms again. Huge storm landing on not only the Hydras there, but also that lurker in the background. He cleans up everything, and Hero is just gonna have to fall back here. The game will continue on with Snow now, I think, in an advantage here, able to take another base in just a moment. He's sending his probe down towards that 4th location. Should be able to secure that without a problem. Hero still with a huge supply, 121 to 127. So almost matching his Protoss opponent in supply. He's not dead by any means, but that was a really rough engagement there by Hero. I hope he manages to take a better fight here in the future. Otherwise, he's going to have a very hard time closing this game out. Tons of lurkers being produced. He has a bunch of overlords there as well. I'm not sure if he wants to go for another drop. That can be a great way to deal with a Protoss player who's extending himself out on the map, taking 4 bases. It'll be very hard to defend every location at the same time, especially when you have drops coming into the main. Big transfer of probes there will make it through. Now Hero being a little more cautious, setting up all of his lurkers here in this big open choke. A lot of lurkers on top of each other there. Not exactly in a good position, but now he's running forward with the Hydras to dive onto some of these Templar. Does dodge the second storm, but that first storm gets a ton of value.
토스
Hero
2역.
just rallying things across the map. You can see his rally about halfway between Snow's base and his own. He's slowly leapfrogging these lurkers forward, trying to bait his opponent into sending the zealots in so that he can take a good fight. Ooh, big storm there on that chunk of Hydras on the left side, and the Dragoons are being allowed to just pick away at these lurkers. Not a winning strategy for Hero. Now he's coming forward with a huge number of Hydra. Can he actually break through here? Ooh, this is a great storm there on the right-hand side. Does he have any more? These Hydras are just ripping apart the Dragoons and Zealots. Can he actually bust through here? No lurkers under this army, but a huge rally of Hydras running forward. There's the lurkers now moving into a better position. No zealots left over. He's just rushing through all of this army. Wow! Hero's macro on point here, just crushing through. He is going to take domination or dominance in this area here, taking control of this third base. Of course, Snow going to retreat his probes over to the fourth, which should be a much easier to defend location, but ceding control of this main frontal natural area is very, very tough for the Protoss player. He's going to put himself in a bad position. 4 cannons here, not going to be enough to slow down Hero's advance. Single storm going to help out a little bit, but these probes are going to have to come out and fight. Hero going to kill off all of those and the cannon and probably take this game. GG, Hero with the victory. Snow taps out and is eliminated. What a game there. Hero macro god, absolutely overwhelming his Protoss opponent, even taking some really poor trades with the storm, still able to completely overwhelm there. Very impressive stuff from him. Alright guys, let's get on to the next one. Well guys, I am back. I know it's only been a moment for you, but I did have to take a bit of a break. Had a day off there. Had a bit of a near falling out with a good close friend of mine over some internet conversation. And public service announcement here, guys. A lot of you have been interacting with friends and family only through text message. Make sure that you reach out to them and talk to them in person if you have some troubles with them. Turns out that the moment we met in person, everything was quickly resolved. There's something lost in a text message conversation, man, that just... It just doesn't lend itself to a good conversation to talk about emotions. The real problem, I think, is that when you read a text message coming from someone else, you put your emotions into their message, into their words, and they end up putting their emotions into your words, and you talk right past each other. So, you know, if you've been fighting with somebody in your family or in your friend group, exclusively online, make sure that you go and talk to them in person and make sure that you really do have an argument and not that it's not just something to do with the fact that you're text messaging all the time. Well, that's it for the message from me, guys. Sorry this video is coming out late, but that is the reason. Now we've got Hero versus Royal here in this next game. Hero already on a 3-kill streak. He's looking for one more. We're on Ascension. We got Hero down here in the bottom right and Royal in the top center. Royals started out with a very quick command center. Going directly into command center after a single barracks. And Hero going for a macro build as well. He's on a 12 hatch, so everything looking very normal here so far. It's like a creep colony coming down. There hasn't been a whole lot of scouting just yet from Hero, so might be thinking a vulture is on the way. That's generally why you want to build that creep colony At this
이어서
timing here, it's about
아카데미가
3
올라가고
minutes
있는
30
양상이었습니다.
seconds. You want to throw that down. It's going to be there just in time to block your opponent from running that vulture by and also throwing down the spire there at the front. So this is really a anti-vulture move here. Putting a vulture, putting a spire in the front there. You're really leaving that open to attack. If Royal comes across the map, he kills your sunken colonies, and then he can immediately focus down your spire. This is more of a play, like I said, against... Is he going to throw down a hatchery in the front there, too? Now he's seeing the number of Marines. He's got to kind of realize his mistake here. He does throw down a hatchery near the front and a second sunken colony out in the front as well. Just going to make sure that he's not busted here. He hasn't built many lings at all. He's still got one ling out here in the front. He's going to track these Marines as they move out, but with 2 sunken colonies at home, he's going to be completely safe. Pretty serious misread here thus far from Hero. He's going to transition though into a 2.5 hatch build and get a bunch of Mutalisks out here shortly. I think he's now well aware of what's going on in the fog of war there on Royal's side. He should be able to react accordingly to that now. We're just waiting for the inevitable Mutalisk to pop here. Royal is adding on more barracks, getting ready for... here we go. So 3 barracks right into a factory. Royal wants to tech out of this very quickly. He doesn't want to stand here and fight directly with these Mutalisks head-to-head for too long. He's going to defend as best he can here in the early game and get as quickly as he can into that tech. Get those... Oh, is he going to get the Overlord? Nicely done. Picks that Overlord off with a quick scan. It's going to supply block Hero. A nice pick off there to start things off. Hero is just harassing the outside of the base of Royal. Still supply block here, even with those Overlords popping out. So this is a significant hindrance to Hero's development in this game. Coming into the main now, killing off a couple of turrets, but there's a large force of Marine Medic that's moving out on the map. He's got to react to that pretty soon. He has a Zergling in position to see anything moving through that small gap in front of the natural, but Royal's gone around here, and I'm not sure that Hero's actually aware of where the Marines are on the map, and this Marine force could potentially bust these 2 Sunkens here without the Mutalisks to support them, and I think that's what we're about to see. He's stimming up here, getting everything into position. He's going to put the medics in front, and he's going to go for it now. Running forward here, going to focus down some of these Mutas and then the sunken colony, but Hero doing a good job dodging back and forth. Now he's going to lose all of those Mutas. Let's see how much damage Royal can do. The Mutas out on the field are on their way back. The drones have been pulled, and this is where having the Spire out in the front is really detrimental. He's going to lose all of these Marines. He's not going to be able to take down that Spire, but you can see that the Spire could have been threatened there had he, instead of going directly after the drones, just tried to focus that Spire. Maybe he could have taken that down. A very risky situation there for Hero. His Zergling was just out of position. He didn't have enough Zerglings out on the map to spot that move out from Royal, but he probably should have suspected that something was moving out on the map, that a group of Marine Medic was coming towards this natural because of the lack of Marines inside of his main. Not much of a reaction from Royal. Should have tipped him off, but he manages to survive that attack, and he did quite a bit of damage to the SCV count of Royal. Now Royal's had quite a bit of time here to rebuild. He's got all of his turrets back up.
이 정도 느낌을 지금 알고
It was a good move heading across the map.
거기다 사이언스
And it ended up working out very well for him. He should have his science vessel out here any moment, and that means that this Mutalisk harassment is going to come to an end. The supply depot is just on the outskirts of the base. Will be picked off there. Hero getting all the value he can out of these mutas before they become obsolete. Hydralistan on the way. Do we have a Queen's Nest as well? Not just yet. A third base hasn't been started either for Hero. I'm getting a little worried for him. As soon as this science vessel pops out, these Mutalisks are going to have a very hard time doing any sort of damage. Few links here. What's the follow-up from Hero? Sending a drone out on the map. Perhaps going to take a base down at the bottom center. We'll see where he decides to take that base. For now, just controlling his mutas. Starting his lurker upgrade as well. Probably hatching out a few Hydralisks from his main and natural. But there's not a clear transition here. Queen's Nest coming down. Hero third base going to be the main of the third, the third main base, I should say. Down there in the bottom left-hand corner, there's the Hydras coming out. I'm going to send those directly down to the bottom left, but we're already 10 minutes in here at the third base coming down. At this point in the game is a little bit late. That third gas, badly needed. Hero trying to do all the things at the same time. He's getting into his lurker. Big irradiate there right in the middle. This is a poor pullout from Hero. It took quite a while to get that irradiated Mutalisk out of the pack. A lot of damage ended up going down on those, and that was a great first irradiate from Royal. Now going to move out directly on the map here. Take advantage of those Mutalisks being damaged. It's going to be harder to engage with them, and you will lose more of them. SCV down here in the bottom left, just chilling. Few lurkers on the way, so this shouldn't be an easy kill for Royal. He shouldn't be able to get in here and actually finish off this base. By any means, all the lurkers should be ready to hold off this attack. More lurkers over here from Hero, but again, this third gas is very late. Hive is about to finish. We will have a Nidus network thrown down very soon here. Looks like Royal going to pivot, sending the bulk of his army over towards the natural base instead. He's got 4 or 5 racks in the main, plus 2 starports over there in the main. He's going to need to add on some more barracks here pretty soon as his economy continues to grow. But he hasn't hit his full stride yet, just on 2 bases. We'll be waiting for that. Royal pivoting once again towards the bottom left-hand corner to see what he can't get done over there. Try to save this factory if he can. Looks like he will. Science Vessel's going to come down. They do have those 2 irradiates, so they should have at least 2 irradiates to throw down on some of these lurkers. But that Nidus Canal will finish up in time, it looks like, in order to reinforce that area and keep Royal from breaking the third. He's going to pivot once again towards the natural. Look for more targets for those irradiates. Seems like Royal wants to set up a third base here, excuse me. Small Marine Medic Force going to protect that. We haven't seen any science vessels go down yet, and 2 more nice irradiates, getting some good value by irradiating 2 of those lurkers. And the science vessel count is continuing to grow here. No 4th base attempt just yet from Hero. He's getting himself nice and cozy here on 3 bases first.
막을 만큼
Adding on more hatcheries in that location.
좋은데요?
More hatches back at home. Macro hatches.
이 정도면 그래도
More lurkers coming up as well. Another
좋아요,
good
지금.
irradiate here from
네.
Royal, but an even better pullout, I feel.
자, 이번에는
Two
베슬이
irradiates
단을
on
떨고
two of
많아
these
베스죠.
lurkers, not in time
예.
with the Overlord to actually block vision of those
그리고
burrow
앞쪽에
holes there.
진을 치고 있는 이
So
병력.
we'll have to
네.
pop some more
이런
lurkers
상황이면 저우가
through. I'm gonna keep this area safe.
예.
We're now up to 5 science vessels.
요 상황이에요.
Power of this Terran army grows exponentially with the number of science vessels and then kind of drops off, I would say. Once you have about 12 science vessels, it becomes very, very hard to irradiate continuously and keep the energy low.
앞선 경기에서
Kind of diminishing returns in that case, but around 12 science vessels is the point where
지금까지 했던
on 3 bases,
더 많은 고생을 해야 될 것
the
같습니다.
Zerg player's not going to have enough production, not going to have enough gas income to keep all of his gas, or to keep any gas units alive. You're just going to be irradiating so quickly and so much. Now finally a defiler is out. We'll go ahead and consume, try to throw down a dark swarm here. Or maybe he has plague. Oh, going for plague first actually. Plague and consume being done already. That's pretty darn quick. Hero gets his first plague off. It's not the greatest plague in the world, but with the threat of plague here, I think he can push back the units of Royal, and now he's ready to come down here and take out this area. Wow, that 4th base, he's ready to come out and take the 4th. That plague was amazing, and now these lings and lurkers should be able to finish the job here, finish off these remaining marines.
근데 내려오고 있습니다. 파란 것들이
And this
내려오고
game will continue on. Big swarm of science vessels radiating everything, but there's nowhere to go from here, and nothing to protect these science vessels, so 2 of them do go down. Getting a little ahead of himself there. Royal wanted to get those radiates down immediately. Didn't end up waiting for his marine medic to join that fight, so the science vessel count has been limited somewhat. Another starport coming down. He is on 3 gas now. Can support as Terran the same number of starports as you do have gas. So 3 gas means 3 starports of production, either battle cruisers or science vessels, and he is bringing out the battle cruisers here. So we'll see where he decides to send those first. I assume he'll be sending them down to this bottom left, trying to get into the main there and make some distraction. A lot of links coming out here with the plague. It's going to bring all these marines down to just 1 HP. Easy kills for these cracklings. Another great plague there. Hero doing a fantastic job plaguing all of the units of Royal. He hasn't been able to do a lot to limit this science vessel count. He's picked off a couple so far, but he has done an excellent job of landing these plagues. 3 science vessels are extremely low here, and a defiler somehow making his way up here to this 4th base towards the center of the map, and he throws down that dark storm. Fortunately for Royal, there are some fire bats in this location. 4 battle cruisers, very scary, making their way. Oh, and he has Yamato, double Yamato there, picking off that Nidus network very quickly, but Hero dives in and takes out 2 of those battle cruisers with the Scourge. So many fire bats here. Dive forward. There's no defiler in this location. All of these lurkers are going down. Oh, just barely in time, throwing down that dark swarm. Unfortunately, though, there is no Nidus network here.
아래쪽에서는
Without a nice network, how is he going to reinforce with additional lurkers? The fact is he just can't.
저거 지금 근데 삼가스가
All of the battle cruisers have fallen, but a follow-up drop plus this attack coming forward with all of these Marines and Firebats, he should be able to kill this fourth, and he does. Oh my goodness, 12 Firebats running into the third base here. He's just gonna go after all the drones. That Nidus pickoff was so huge. Firebat City here, oh my god, Royal just wiping out this base completely. Every drone has fallen here, and Hero has fallen apart completely. What a dominant performance by Royal, who's now sitting on 4 bases. He's looking amazing here. I've never seen a dropship play like that with 12 Firebats. That is just not something that you ever see out of Terran. Look at the number of Firebats here. It is insanity, absolute insanity. These links will pop out and get instantly roasted. And Royal's gonna push through and end this game, guys. What a cool one from Royal. That could be his signature move in the future. 12 Firebat drop. Burning down the house here. And another dropship gonna fly right into the natural. Will be picked off, but does not matter. There's no third base from Hero, and he is fully 2 bases behind his Terran opponent. That's not a tenable position. Ultralists are out here. They do have Chitin splitting and +2, but it's not going to be enough maybe for this one small group, but this is all Hero has. And there is an endless stream of Marine Medic and, of course, tons of Firebats popping out along with battle cruisers. Oh my goodness, this is going to be the end. Keeping that science pistol alive. Just a little bit of flare there. Does eventually get picked off, however. Another attack over to this location. Hero struggling to try and get a new base up, but he taps out when he finds out that a hatchery was going down in the center right. He gives up and ends his streak. Royal taking one for the Terrans. And now there's only one of each race left. Royal, Mini, and Queen are all that remains. As we're going to take a short break, when we get back, I'm going to jump into that next game. Okay, Mini coming up next. Going up against Royal, excuse me. Mini in the top left, Royal in the bottom left. We are on Fighting Spirit. Seems like every time we get to the end with the Terran still alive, he ends up going on Fighting Spirit against a Protoss player. You guys know how imbalanced I think this map is for TVP. Well, actually, this is similar to the starting positions we saw. I believe it was Royal versus Snow. The first time, that was a little while ago, but yeah, this is looking very familiar here. We've got Mini with easy access to the third base of Royal. And that's going to be a tough base to take, guys. It is really, really frustrating to try and take and hold that base, especially against the most common style that Protosses tend to use in PvT, that is the speed shuttle style. Call it speed gates. Massive amounts of speed shuttles. Reavers, of course, but also dropping zealots on top of everything. And just sort of busting through entrenched positions, namely at the third base. Well, we'll see if that ends up coming to pass here, or if Royal's got other plans. Nice blocking so far on the ramp with the SCV. Does take one shot from that Zealot on the Marine, and a nice block there. Tries to get some displacement going on with that
그래도 요 정도면
그렇죠.
SCV, one Marine gets picked off.
이것도 죽었어요. 이것도
The
죽었어요.
probe has that kill. He's gonna try and run on out of here, but
인정.
does end up getting picked off.
예, 김지성 너무 좋은데요.
One Marine being lost for a Zealot
김치면 이렇게만 안 하시면 돼요.
and a probe. Not the greatest
그래서
trade
네.
for Mini, however, it's still within
질럿 이거
acceptable
숨긴 거 찾는
losses
거거든요.
here.
아하.
자 그러면서 지금 변현
This
선수가 약간
Zealot
엇박
gonna
느낌으로
come around
찌르는데
in
벌처가
an
멀지 않은
awkward
곳이거든요.
Angle, try to sneak by
집을
here,
비운 줄
maybe deal some
알았지.
damage to these.
돌아오죠.
예.
아
Marines.
이러면 벌처만 따라가고
he's gonna have to
벙커에
run
많이
away
붙어
now.
있으면 되고 이거 천천히
The
컨트롤해야 되거든요.
Vulture
당장
is
질럿이
here
죽일 수
for the
있는 유닛이
assist.
없습니다.
So he's gonna get another couple shots on those Marines.
자,
No,
이거
only
지금요.
one shot.
야린 하나 교환
And
vs
the Vulture can easily be repaired here. We're all gonna throw down his command center. He's been annoyed thus far by the Zealot attacks from Mini, but
자신의 손을 한번 더 믿어보는 건가요?
does come out unscathed.
변수를 일단 두는 변현재 선수입니다.
예. 코어도 안 돌아갔죠.
안
I
돌아갔어요.
think he's going to be
Yeah.
feeling his position here pretty well. Two Zealots have been lost now for, and a probe for the price of only a single Marine.
모르겠습니다.
확실히 변현재스러운
Say he's done a great job
변현재스럽습니다.
of dealing with this early harassment. Now, where is Mini going to go from here? We see a robotics facility.
약간 그 상대를 멘탈 흔들어 놓으면서
Likely we're going to have Reavers.
견제 뭐 이런
Likely
게
we're going to have
보여주는데
speed gates. I don't know why you would do any other style on this map that other than speed gates.
김지성 선수는 반대로 이제 흔들릴
Just get those speed shuttles out. You can break that third base relatively easily. If you try to get into a something like a two-base carrier play, I feel like that falls right into the hands of someone like Royal. He can just forgo the third base and attack you directly, and you won't really have enough to deal with that. A mine in front of the natural. Whoa, Royal getting mines in kind of an awkward position here. He's going to go ahead and try to get up the natural, up the ramp. But this retreating Dragoon, oh man, this retreating Dragoon is going to get picked off. All three of the mines have been consumed, but that was excellent play from Royal. Placing those mines just out of range. I don't think the Nexus was quite finished there, so it wasn't able to see. He wasn't able to see that mine being placed. Now he's actually pushed back the Zealot, killed the Zealot, pushed back the Dragoons, and this Dragoon is incredibly low, 9 HP. Oh, this probe! Oh my God, that mine was so close to going off there. Had that mine actually gone off, that could have been game-ending damage, but luckily for Mini, he got that right click perfectly on the mine there. The stacked probes able to take that out before it was before it connected and exploded. That would have been probably one of the best mines of all time. An entire group of probes, probably a full 12 probes there brought out to help with the defense. Completely stacked up. All of them would have died. That was very, very close to a tragic situation. Now he's coming across the map with this Reaver. We'll see what he can get done with that. Couple shots on that Reaver, couple shots on the Dragoon as well, and good pulling back. Really, really good pulling back here so far from Royal, only taking minimal damage from that explosive shot from that Scarab on the tank. If you didn't know, guys, moving away from a Scarab shot deals, I think it's half damage. But if you move, really good shot there with the Reaver. All of those retreating SCVs, as they were doing some repair, sent back to work, stacking right up, and he gets about 4 or 5 kills. So Mini making his way back into this game, starting to even things out with the Reaver harass. Now, though, I think that Royal has completely buttoned up his defense. He has turrets in every location. He has siege tanks ready to go as well. Will he be throwing down a third command center here or a bunch of factories? There's your answer. 3 more factories.
칼 꺼내 들었습니다.
have been dropped here. Can Mini make his way in and actually spot this, though? So far, not able to do so. Right at the edge of the vision here, he really wants to find out if there's a command center here or not. He hasn't seen one on the edges of the base just yet. More turrets are going to come up here in the front. This is going to maybe make Royal feel that a command center is coming, but I'm not sure that he'll be tricked here. The third base coming up for Mini now. He's going to send in both observers. 2 observers at the same time. Sends them in. He is going to see all 3 of these factories. He knows it's a 5 factory. As the follow-up here, a lot of gateways on the way for Mini. He probably wants to add on a few more even, just to make sure he has enough forces to stop this incoming attack. Royal does not want to take this to a long game. There will be no third base here. Gonna hit that +1, and he's gonna go across the map, try to make this work, try to get in on that natural and destroy it. Mini, he will have to do his best. Reaver micro here. He's only got 7 HP on that. Plenty of kills, but the Reaver is very, very low. +1 is done. Big moment here, +1 being done. A counterattack coming from Mini's Dragoons. He picks off the eBay. That means no turrets can be set up with this attack. Turning back, Royal going to chase down some of these Dragoons, picks one off at least. But now he's going to have to continue this push. He has SCVs here, but without that engineering bay, he won't be able to throw down any turrets. Uh-oh, this is bad. Royal's army is splitting up right now. Okay, he does bring it back. He does bring those tanks around to the left side here. They will be setting up. That can be potentially game-losing a mistake there. If he accidentally sent those in the wrong direction, they got cut off, but he does realize his mistake, brings all of his tanks together. He's coming up to the front now. The Reavers are all dead. The tanks are well and alive. Mini has not chosen the moment to engage just yet. I think it'll be a focus here from Royal. Just pick off the Nexus and as many probes as you can. Here comes the Zealots. They're only slow Zealots, though. I don't see any shuttle. This attack is crazy strong right now from Royal, and he just nukes that base. Picking off a few reinforcements here, at least Mini cutting those off. Vulture up here in the third base. This is all the mining that really Mini has at the moment, and GG is called. Wow. Mini topples relatively easy there to the 5 factory push from Royal. Very crisp, very clean timing. Even though he managed to send in both those observers, he sacked double observers to get that information, wasn't able to mount a proper defense. Kudos to Royal for that crisp play. Mini has been eliminated. Royal will go on to face Queen in the final match. Here we go, the final game of this week of KCM. Queen versus Royal. Got Royal up there in the top right-hand corner on Eclipse. Down here, the Queen. He's chilling. Sending out a pretty early drone here. So wants to get that scout on immediately. Drone on 9, or drone scout on 9, excuse me. And it looks like he'll be taking a quick expansion. So a 12 hatch with that really, really early drone scout. This could be huge, actually. Can harass the heck out of this SCV. And he will find out now that Royal is planning to go for a barracks first. I thought that was going to be a command center first, actually. I saw a bit of a delay there before he threw down a building, but he does throw down a barracks here. He's had to pull 2 additional SCVs off to deal with this drone. Second SCV is actually going out to scout now. But Queen can feel very, very safe here. He knows exactly what's going on. He knows there's a wall in coming up from Royal. He knows there's no aggressive
김명훈 선수의
moves
드론이
coming
춤을
from
추고 있습니다.
Royal for now anyway.
체력이
He's
좀
trying to block
빠졌습니다,
this command center from going down for as long as possible. He could also make
야,
an extractor
이거
to
김명훈
regain a bit of
선수가
that health.
예.
너무 센스가
But he's
있는데요.
gone up for
굿서치를 했잖아요.
a third
그리고
hatch
방해를
before
하면서
Pool
노스포
using
3회째
that
보시면
어머,
information he
그것도
gained from
본진도
the
아닌
early
여덟
drone
시.
scout here
진짜 불릴 수 있는 배 중에
to get as much of a macro advantage as he possibly can. Looks like Royals
야,
자,
going to be throwing down
이게
that
만약에
command center
그냥
now.
투엣을 만약에 노서치 투엣이나 늦은 서치 투엣을 했다고
And
하면은
the
저가 기분이 굉장히 나쁜
sunken
상태에서
colony
쫓아가야
is
되는
now out.
운영이었어요. 테란
excuse me, not
섹터
sunken
근데
colony.
오히려
Spawning pool.
이거는 테란이 쫓아가야
My
되는
goodness.
지금 그림이 됐습니다.
예. 마치
Bit
김명훈
of a
선수가
blunder there by me.
해방으로
Anyway,
나
we do
스포닝
have
없이 해처리 3개다.
3 bases here before Pool. It
이러는
means
것
that
같습니다.
Queen's going to have
선전포고를 하는
a
것 같은
decent
김명훈
macro
선수의
advantage. There
경기군요.
was no
그런데
command center
그랬을
first,
때
as I
김지성
mentioned
선수의
before.
반응은 어떨지.
hidden barracks.
야, 12시에
Interesting.
베럭스를
Royal.
짓고
Getting creative
진짜
here.
마지막
We'll see
게임인데.
what he plans to do with this extra barracks. He
와, 졌다가 뭐
clearly
팩토리
wants
짓는
to
것도
hide
아니고요.
his marine
Yeah.
count.
야, 이거는 투베럭을
I doubt
저까지
he's adding on,
지었다는
going to be
거는,
adding on anything
의미가
weird
조금
like
남다를 것
fire bats or
같거든요,
something
지금.
like that.
저기서 뭐
I believe
파이어벳을
this
찍어서
just
가겠다는
going to
건지,
be
아니면 마린 메딕을 저기서 더
him
찍어서
hiding the
정면 오버로드에
number of
소수만
marines that
보여주고
he's building and try to
좀
hit
적게
a
박게 한 후에 12시 병력
really
깜짝
strong
해가지고 같이
stim
뚫겠다는
timing. Now,
건지
Queen,
봐야 됩니다. 이거는.
약간 그러고
this
보니까
is on
파이어벳이
Eclipse.
산타같이 생기긴 한것 같네요.
So we've got the third base on high ground. There's no really easy
깜짝
place
선물.
for
네.
Queen to take
했다
that fourth
먹어라.
base.
뭐 8시
So,
기스 파이어벳 뭐 3마리 갈 수도 있고. 아이구야.
There's probably going to be a little unorthodox strategy here coming from Queen after he goes into
저희
his
그
mutas.
리액션이 별거 없고요.
Could end up
계속
going
이쪽에
for
있는데
a
목줄기
Hydra
감사합니다.
plus
제가 이따가
Defiler play
리액션
that's
해드리겠습니다.
become
아,
very
감사합니다.
popular on this
정말
map.
큰 크리스마스 선물 고맙습니다. 돈 주면
But will that match up well against what Royal's doing right here? He is going to come across the map very, very strong
상대의 저글링을
with a quick stim and a whole bunch of marines that are not being spotted here by this Overlord.
후방 배치해라는
An
거예요.
Overlord on the right-hand side.
그래야 내 12시 병력 들킬 확률이 적어지니까.
Seeing all of the marines that are being produced, a fire bat over here and a marine. Maybe he wants to
12시 산타.
저기서 메딕 하나 정도
send
뽑나요?
the medic,
아니면은
marine,
어떻게
and
하나요?
fire
원래
bat
구성을 어떻게 할지
all the
잘
way
모르겠어요.
around the map by themselves.
산타
투
둘.
파이어벳,
Or by themselves,
요거
2
8시
fire
가야
bats
돼. 8시에
and a
석분하나
marine.
슬
Send them
짓거든요.
all the way around to this third base.
그것도
Uh-oh,
있어요.
creep
저기서
colony
그림만
at
지어놓고
each
나오는 거 보고
location.
그냥
That is
여기
going to
있거든요.
completely
자,
ruin
오버로드샤에 안
this
걸리는
plan
걸린다는 얘기죠. 안 걸리는데
for
안 걸렸어요.
Royal here
그러니까 8시
unless he
보통은
doesn't
벽을 안
actually
크리 콜로니만 지어놓은
그렇죠.
make
이런
that
식으로.
into a
보통은
sunken
안 해놓고
colony. Hold on.
정면에서 병력이 나올 때 유를 써요.
He thinks he's safe right now. He's
이러면은
looking at
먹혀
the
들었죠.
natural
일단 근데 링이
of
많기 때문에
Royal and
어쨌건
he's yet to
제거도 돼요.
make
근데
this.
멀리가 있어요.
Royal just gonna stim and go for it. A counterattack coming here.
자, 들어
Oh, the drones are getting pushed into this corner. Counterattack with the
자, 지금
Lings
뒤쪽으로 들어가서 마치
all
질러
get
세우는
cleaned
듯이
up.
마린 가운데 파벳
Two
양쪽에
fire bats and a marine
근데 메딕이
behind
없어서 그렇게
this
세진 않아요. 그리고
mineral line. It looks so funny.
냅두고, 예, 미네랄 안 켜도
That
돼요.
is so
왜냐면
hilarious to see.
본진 앞마당에 좀
Just
나와서
like a
붙여주고
couple
이거
of
3회 처리 용도로만 쓰면 되거든요.
zealots
예,
hiding
잭
behind a
같은 저게
mineral
아니라
line. That's going to be incredibly difficult to force
베럭스에다가
those
파이어벳 두 마리에
units
마리나
out
넣으면
from
미네랄만
behind
뭐
that
300.
tight
베럭스 일단 돌아와서
location.
안 쳤고요.
지금 전략을 짠 거에
Wow, this is
비해서는
a very interesting strategy from Royal. Royal really
뭐 그냥
bringing out
무난합니다. 이거는 서로 할 만한 것 같아요.
a
근데.
cool response here to the early 3 bases of Queen. Queen's built a ton of lings.
아, 이거는
As a
이거.
response to that, he's gonna lose this Overlord. Oh, just barely 16 HP. Oh man, that just barely managed to get away. Really lucky stuff there for Queen. Scan here in the main.
수 있어요, 저게.
Royal taking a look. He's done a lot of damage just by pushing away all the drones at the third. And I'll remind you, they're still pushed away right now. There's no Mutalisk out yet. That Spire is just about to finish, so he'll finally be able to push those units away, but he's bought himself a lot of time here. He's slowed down the economy of his opponent.
바락질하는 척하면서
Well, the drones will be
빠르게
getting back to
12시에 있는
work,
배럭
but
해군에서
I really
안치면서
love
안정적으로
how
한 후에
Royal decided to play
완전
this
수비
out.
모드에서 태클
He
빠르게 탔거든요.
played off of
이것도
the
지금
lack of
김지성
vision there
선수의
by
어떤
Queen
짜임새나
perfectly.
판단이 저는 너무나도 좋아 보입니다.
A really amazing mind game there by Royal overall, impressing me immensely
김명훈의 뮤탈리스크.
그렇죠. 지금 채팅창 나오고
in this series.
스타포트 미쳤네. 글 나오죠. 저는 보통 저구전 할 때 보통
But he has been performing just out of his mind
7분에 스타포트가
in
올라가잖아요.
several of the past
네.
weeks of KCM.
슬쩍
It's like a little counterattack of Lings coming into the natural. It's not going to work out. Flying into the main Queen, completely denied. Royal
테크는
is getting up
테란이
into his
굉장히
tech.
만족스러운 상황입니다. 그리고 가스 세이브
Looks like a
역시
hive
잘 돼 있어요.
coming up
들어갈
now.
틈이 없습니다.
The
자, 스팀버그
science
덮치고 있는
facility
김지성 선수.
just about to
가스
finish.
세이브까지 잘 돼 있기 때문에
We will have science
저그
vessels coming out
입장에서는
soon.
이게 부담일 수밖에 없어요. 좀 공인업도 돼 있나요, 마린이?
Okay, Marines and
아직 안 돼
아닌데요?
있는데도
예.
Lings and Mutas trading.
다시 한번 가정 방문.
Looks like gonna fly back over here into the main. Gets that full scout off anyway. He sees the double starport. He knows what's coming here from Royal, but Royal runs right underneath these Marines and does maximum damage, so punishing that play as much as possible. Second engineering base finishing up now. He'll have
김명훈 선수 역시
that +2 on the way here shortly.
출발보다는 빠르게 삼가스를 파주고 있기 때문에
Looks like Royal looking to move out now.
이미 돼 있죠.
Very carefully here. He knows that Queen is on 3 bases, has a lot of larva, and could be continuously building up his Mutalisk count. Another scan here, going to take a look at Queen's drone count, at what tech is available to him. He knows that that hive has got to be done by now. Couple more macro hatcheries being thrown down in Queen's base. He's really ramping up right now, and I'm imagining a Hydra Defiler follow-up here from Queen is probably going to be what he decides is best in this situation. He knows that fourth base will be very difficult to take. He needs to take good trades here against Royal. And there's almost nothing more, shall we say, economical, more efficient than Defilers with Plague, and then Hydralis just gunning down everything with 1 HP. A whole bunch of lurkers are popping up. That's going to buy quite a bit of time here for Queen. These Marines and medics will not be able to engage with this, but of course, throwing down a bunch of irradiates will clear out some of those lurkers, getting them locked down underneath the Overlord here, making sure that it's not an easy irradiate to get off, and keeping his Scourge very active here. This is very nice play by Queen. Look at that. Impossible to get that click off. He's trying to... I saw there, just trying to push that Overlord a little bit out of the way. When two units in the air in StarCraft 1, in StarCraft Broodwar, when they overlap each other, the units slowly like push each other out of the way. There's no real collision in the air, but they sort of displace each other, and that's why you have to keep moving things like Mutalisk in order to keep them stacked up. But Royal trying to take advantage of that by putting his science vessel right on top of the Overlord. A very risky play, but trying to push that Overlord a little bit away from the lurker so that he can get the irradiate off. Wasn't able to do it, but an interesting move. Oh, losing a science vessel there. Really unfortunate for Royal. He was actually fighting there with the Marines. I believe they're on an A-click, an attack move, but then he pulled them away with a right click, with a movement click, and wasn't able to gun down those Scourge. So he loses a vessel. Very painful stuff there for him, but now 2 more macro hatches. We have so many macro hatches here, and I think it's definitely going to be Hydralisk Just pure Hydralisk Defiler here.
같이 들어가고요.
You must be upgrading those
예.
Hydralisks.
그러면 김지성 선수도
I would be so shocked
아닌가?
if we saw anything
아니면
other than
볼게요.
Hydra Defiler.
Plague!
There's that plague.
Yeah!
Nicely done.
정통.
First group of
컨슘. 나도 고급.
네.
Marine Medic here,
이레디.
making a ton of damage
만들어놓고
from that
있고요.
plague.
자, 플레이그도 조심해야죠. 병력 뭉쳐 있을
We
때.
have another plague here
자, 밀고
from
내려오는
the Zerg
김지성
player.
선수
No,
그것도
not
막아내고
yet,
있는
but a
선수.
good bunch of spines take out a ton of Marine Medic there in the front.
먹냐 못 먹냐
As
싸움인데요.
Royal
자,
tries to
네네.
pressure,
그렇죠. 수험
run
치고
forward with
저걸로
those
갖다
cracklings, start to take out these Marine Medic.
플레이그 묻은 병력이라서
Trying to stim and run away, but there's not much HP left on these units to use for that stim. Quite a few of them do get picked off, but the majority managed to escape.
좀 많이 찍을 생각인지. 아이드라 롤코 맞는 것 같아요.
Hydras are popping now. No Hydra speed just yet, and he's continuing to produce lurkers here, but
많이 지은 거거든요.
예. 히드라 럴커 체제라고
with this
합니다.
number of Hydralisks, it's got to be
그리고 병력이 나오고 있는데 일단 이게
야,
that Hydra Defiler
제가
style
애매하다 했잖아요.
예.
이 히로는
with
맞나?
just a
애매하다
few
했는데
lurkers
애초에 확진을 하고 있었어요.
예.
탱크를 모아줍니다.
Kinda mixed in there.
롤코 체제이기 때문에.
this is a very tough style to pull off. It's incredibly
네네. 저좀
demanding in terms of all of the different
자, 같이 와가지고 얼마나
tasks that you need to accomplish at the same time. You need to move your Hydras, you need to keep your Defilers
그렇죠.
consuming and casting spells all the time. You have to focus your Hydras. You need to cast your Irradiates, you need to consume units so that you have energy for that Irradiate. But this has been well executed by Queen, who's now got lurkers in front of his opponent's base with Defiler spells on top of them, with that Dark Swarm already cast on top of them. Now he's setting up reinforcements here, and these Marine
그렇다는 거는 지금 저 정면에 있는 삼롤커
will just
있죠.
get torn
저기까지
apart.
도달이 된다는 얘기고
논스톱으로 도달이 된다는 얘기고요.
도달이 되면
There's
테란이
nothing
위기가
here to
있다는 얘기죠.
pick
자,
off
유타니스크
these
살아있고 플레이까지 모든
science vessels, unfortunately. So the science vessels all managed to irradiate and get back. That's not what Queen wanted. Queen wanted to get his Defiler as close as possible, but unfortunately for him, he does get pushed away. That Defiler getting irradiated. These Hydra's trying to fight straight up against Marine Medic. More and more of those irradiated science vessels are going down, and Queen is just chasing back Royal. Royal has quite a bit of money in the bank. He needs to be spending here, reinforcing this Marine Medic and building up a huge tank count. His third base is going to be under threat in a moment, and there's the Defiler running towards that third base. As soon as it gets that Dark Swarm on the high ground, Royal is going to be in a ton of trouble. I think the only option here probably going to be a counterattack. Tons of SCVs getting hit by these lurkers, but most of them managing to escape somehow. Lurker spines not connecting efficiently there with those SCVs. I thought he was going to pick off nearly all of them. Huge plague, plague goo on every single unit in this group of Royal's army. Each of them with only 1 HP now. It's going to be easy pickings for these Hydra. Watch all of them die. It's incredibly satisfying to watch as a Zerg player. Massive wave of reinforcements coming forward for Queen. I'm not sure that Royal can hang on much longer. Base number 4 and 5 coming up now with Queen firmly in the lead, firmly in control of this game. He can snag as many bases as he wants. Just keeping this pressure on will keep Royal back away from those bases and allow him to get those up. It's like a few Marines down here in the bottom right. Gonna buy some time for Royal to solidify his defense to try and get that third base up again. Still a lot of lurkers in that location, and a Defiler is making its way through the middle of the map. Royal not capable at the moment of stopping Defilers from moving through the middle with these science vessels. He's just gonna have to deal with it once it arrives here, and it has arrived. There's the Defiler. Gonna run forward and throw down this Dark Swarm right in the middle. On top of these tanks would be the next best location. No! Good targeting there with the tanks, picking off that Defiler that was running up. Now these lurkers get absolutely smashed. So Royal actually dealing with that relatively well, or Queen kind of messing it up. I'm not sure which one was more impactful. A mistake by Queen or the targeting there by Royal. Now, Royal has made it across the map. He's going to be able to threaten this fourth base. Drones are going to end up dying here, and these lurkers are probably just going to fall to the irradiate as long as Royal can avoid that. Whoa, 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 18 kills. 18 kills on this lurker. We really missed a lot of kills going down from that. Probably a ton of SCVs that were returning to work there ended up getting picked off. Royal does a little damage to that fourth base, but nothing substantial. Queen transferring those workers around and now getting back to mining here. He is now firmly on 4 gas. As soon as he has upper left mining properly, he's going to be on 5, gas number 5 and 6. Royal would love to deny this base, so he's dropping off some units here in the upper left. Going to go for that hatch, looks like. Can he burn it down before Queen reacts? It seems like he should be able to do so. A lot of Firebats running forward now. Royal recognizing that Defilers are going to be a huge problem for him this game. He needs to fight underneath that Dark Swarm, so building a bunch of Firebats, making sure that he at least has some amount of splash damage to use under that Dark Swarm. Looks like another attack here coming towards the third base, just setting up with the tanks. Of course, tanks can hit with their splash those Hydralisks under Dark Swarm, but they cannot hit the burrowed lurkers under Dark Swarm. It's a very strange part of this game. Another good plague there on that science vessel. You can see the tank still firing away at that lurker. It's not going to deal any damage, but strangely, Firebats do deal damage, splash damage, at least to the lurkers under Dark Swarm. Looks like the Dark Swarm has in fact run out. Another Defiler making its way around the left-hand side, gonna consume a couple of Lings here and getting another Dark Swarm and Plague. 2 more of those vessels did go down during that chaos as well. The Hydra's just gunning them down, only having about 2 HP on each of the science vessels, makes them easy targets for the Hydralisks. And now there's an opening here towards Royal's main base. Queen gonna take advantage of that, running straight up forward with that Defiler. Really needs to get the target on that. And he did not manage to do so, so a Dark Swarm on the high ground. This could be the end for Royal. GG! Queen takes the victory with a very unique style. I don't think I've seen the Hydralisk Defiler style used quite like that in the past, but Queen made it look incredibly strong. He was so aggressive once he got his macro hatches rolling and his Defilers out and started plaguing. It was like a steamroller coming across the map, rallying up his units and just crushing through everything that Royal had. Of course, Royal did put up a good fight. Congratulations to him for his kills this week in KCM, but unfortunately, the Zergs are going to take it. Queen with that final victory. Okay, there you have it, folks. Zerg takes the win today. Here are your point rankings. We are dead even. Zerg and Protoss at 6 points, 3 points to Terran lagging behind. I think that's no surprise to any of you. And this graph is looking pretty darn similar to a lot that we've had in the past, with Protoss excelling in the early part of KCM the first few weeks and then kind of tapering off here as time goes on. We'll see if that trend continues. Zerg rocketing up now from a pretty tough start. And Terran, well, they were impressive in week 3. They haven't quite had the results that a lot of you Terran fans are hoping for. Royal really carrying, man. He has been carrying like crazy. Kind of a hero in terms of Terran right now. Putting everyone in his backpack. Must be getting sore. Doing a lot of work right now. What is your highlight of the day, guys? I feel like definitely my highlight today was the 12 Firebat drop that Royal pulled off and killed every single drone and the hatch. That was a pretty cool move by him. I hope we see more of Royal in the future, and I hope he does well. Got to get some more Terran victories here, guys. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. My name is CNSC. I'll see you guys next time.